When people gossip behind your back, it is one of the most uncomfortable and painful experiences to go through. Words have weight, and when they are used recklessly, they can feel like arrows meant to pierce your spirit. Gossip is often whispered in secret places, spread in shadows where your ears cannot hear, but your heart can still feel the sting. It is designed to belittle you, to make you doubt yourself, and to plant seeds of insecurity deep within your soul. Yet here is a truth worth holding tightly. Gossip is not a reflection of who you are, but rather a reflection of who they are. It reveals their envy, their brokenness, their fear of your light shining brighter than theirs. And while their words may echo for a moment, they hold no eternal power. For while people are busy talking behind your back, God is already moving ahead of you, arranging things in your favor, writing chapters of your life that no human tongue can erase. When you understand this, you begin to see that gossip, as sharp as it may feel, does not define you. It cannot alter the blueprint of your destiny. It cannot cancel the promises of God. People may try to stain your name with false stories, but your name is already written in places where their words cannot reach. The Creator of heaven and earth calls you chosen, worthy, and beloved. That truth outshines every whisper of doubt, every lie spoken in secret corners. The hands of men may try to tear you down, but the hand of God is always lifting you higher. The same voices that mock you today will be silenced when God's favor speaks on your behalf tomorrow. Gossip is often a distraction, a trap designed to take your eyes off where you are headed. If you are not careful, you may find yourself wasting precious time trying to defend yourself, trying to chase down every rumor, trying to prove your innocence. But the reality is, the more you try to silence gossip, the louder it becomes. The more you fight with it, the deeper you entangle yourself in its grip. That is why the wisest thing you can do is not to fight with words, but to stand with dignity, knowing that your purpose is not dictated by the chatter of others. When you rise above it, when you refuse to descend into their level, you show that your confidence does not come from their approval, but from God's assurance. Consider this: the same people who gossip about you do so because, on some level, they recognize something in you that threatens their comfort. Your growth exposes their stagnation. Your progress exposes their fears. Your light exposes their shadows. And rather than celebrate you, they attempt to tear you down with words. But what they fail to understand is that no amount of gossip can stop the momentum of God's plan. You are not held back by their stories. You are carried forward by His promises. You are not trapped by their lies. You are freed by His truth. You are not defeated by their chatter. You are strengthened by His presence. So when you hear that people are talking behind your back, do not crumble and do not lose your peace. Lift your head higher, because God is already ahead of you, preparing blessings that no voice can block. Every step you take forward silences the noise behind you. Every time you choose peace over reaction, you disarm the power of their words. And every time you trust God instead of worrying about people, you prove that your life is guided not by human opinions, but by divine direction. Their gossip may travel fast, but God's plan travels further. Their words may bruise for a moment, but God's promises heal for a lifetime. While they are behind you with whispers, He is before you with victories. And that is why you do not have to fear gossip. You only have to keep moving, because the one who goes ahead of you has already secured your future. Gossip is one of the most destructive weapons people use, not because it has truth, but because it is often dressed in lies that sound believable. It feeds on insecurity and is fueled by envy, jealousy, and misunderstanding. Many times, the ones who gossip do so because they cannot handle your growth, your confidence, or your progress. Instead of focusing on improving themselves, they attempt to pull others down with their words. But gossip is not truly about you. It is about them. It is their inability to celebrate your victories, their discomfort with your light shining in places where they feel stuck in darkness. Gossip is a mirror that reflects their character, not yours. And the more they talk, the more they expose what lies in their own hearts. When you recognize this, you begin to understand that their words are not chains to bind you, but noise meant to distract you. The danger of gossip is that it seeks to create doubt in your mind. It wants you to question your worth, to second-guess your path, and to lose your focus. If you listen to it long enough, it can poison your confidence and drain your energy. But this is why you must remind yourself that what people say about you behind closed doors has no power over what God has already declared about you in the open. Their whispers are temporary, but His word is eternal. Gossip tries to shrink you, but God's truth reminds you that you are bigger than every false story. The one who listens to gossip without discernment may stumble, but the one who keeps their eyes on God stands tall regardless of what is said. So the next time you hear that someone has spoken against you, do not let it weigh you down. Instead, let it remind you that you carry something so valuable that others feel compelled to talk about it. You do not need to fight their words with words. You simply need to walk forward, knowing that no gossip can erase the destiny written over your life. People may speak against you. They may spread false stories, and they may try to damage your name, but the truth is that their words can never rise higher than the words God has already spoken over you. Human voices are loud for a moment, but they fade away. God's voice is eternal, and it carries weight that no one can overturn. While people may attempt to define you based on their limited understanding, God defines you according to His limitless purpose. What is whispered in secret rooms has no authority over what has been declared in the courts of heaven. Long before anyone tried to discredit you, God had already chosen you. Long before they spoke your name in jealousy, God had already written your name in His book of destiny. That is why you should never give too much attention to the voices of people, because the voice that truly matters has already spoken life, blessing, and purpose over you. When others plot against you with their words, remember that God's protection covers you. You don't have to respond to every insult or prove yourself to every critic, because God Himself defends His children. The same words that were meant to crush you can become the very stage where God shows His power. Time has a way of exposing lies and confirming truth. And when God is ahead of you, He ensures that no weapon formed against you, including words, will prosper. Their gossip may travel quickly, but it cannot outrun God's favor. Their attempts to tarnish your reputation may sting for a season, but His blessing will shine brighter than any stain they try to leave. If you keep your focus on Him instead of on the noise, you will realize that people's words are powerless in the face of divine promise. And when the world sees that you keep rising despite all the opposition, they will know it is not because you fought back, but because God went before you and cleared the way. True strength is not always shown by how loudly you respond or how fiercely you defend yourself, but by how calmly you remain grounded when others try to shake you. When people gossip, the natural instinct is to fight back, to shout, to argue, and to prove them wrong. But often the greatest power is found in silence. Choosing not to retaliate does not mean you are weak. It means you are wise enough to know that not every battle deserves your energy. Inner strength is measured by restraint, by your ability to rise above the noise and protect your peace when others try to drag you into chaos. People may mistake your silence for weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest displays of self-control. It takes courage to stand tall without lowering yourself to the level of those who seek to pull you down. The beauty of inner strength is that it comes from knowing you are defended by God. When you carry the assurance that He fights your battles, you don't waste your breath trying to fight them with words. Instead, you preserve your energy for growth, for progress, for pursuing the purpose that lies ahead of you. You realize that peace of mind is more valuable than winning an argument. Confidence that comes from God is unshaken by the chatter of people. While they spend their time talking behind your back, you keep moving forward, proving through your actions and your resilience that nothing can stop what God has started in your life. Strength is not loud. It is steady. It is the quiet determination that keeps walking forward when others expect you to stumble. And when you embody that strength, you send a silent but powerful message. Their gossip cannot break you because your foundation is built on something greater than human words. One of the greatest truths you can hold on to is that no amount of gossip, slander, or human opinion can cancel what God has already written for your life. People may try to close doors, but when God has opened them, no force on earth can shut them. They may attempt to poison your name with lies, but God has already stamped His approval on you. Destiny is not fragile, and it is not in the hands of those who speak against you. It is in the hands of the one who created you. Their words may slow you down emotionally if you let them, but they can never derail the plan that heaven has already set in motion. When you remember that, you stop worrying about who is trying to block you and start focusing on the one who is carrying you forward. Every great destiny comes with resistance. Gossip may wound your heart temporarily, but it cannot change the fact that you were chosen for something greater. What people think about you may shift from day to day, but what God thinks about you never changes. His promises are steady, His plan is secure, and His timing is perfect. If you can see beyond the noise of the present moment, you will recognize that the very attacks against you are proof that you are headed somewhere significant. Opposition does not mean you are failing. It often means you are right on track. Let them talk, because while their words are circling behind you, your future is still unfolding ahead of you. Destiny cannot be stopped by rumors. It cannot be blocked by criticism, and it cannot be silenced by envy. God's hand is stronger than every voice, and His plan is greater than every attempt to bring you down. When you keep walking forward, you will discover that their words lose power while God's promise grows louder in your life. Gossip is more than just noise. It is a test of character. When people whisper lies or spread rumors about you, the real challenge is not in what they say, but in how you choose to respond. Every word spoken against you becomes an opportunity to reveal what truly lives inside you. You can react in anger, allowing bitterness to poison your heart, or you can rise above it and show restraint. The way you respond is proof of your maturity. If you fight back with the same negativity, you lower yourself to their level. But if you respond with silence and dignity, you show that your focus is not on pleasing people, but on walking in wisdom. Character is revealed in pressure, and gossip is one of those pressures that separates those who are driven by ego from those who are led by purpose. The truth is, gossip will come to everyone at some point in life, but not everyone passes the test. Many waste energy trying to clear their name or make others see the truth, only to discover that in the process they lose their peace and their focus. But the one who trusts God understands that vindication is not always immediate, and it does not always come from human approval. Vindication comes when you keep moving forward, when you let your success and your consistency silence the lies. Gossip is temporary, but character is permanent. When you refuse to let bitterness take root, you protect your destiny from being derailed. The test is not about the gossip itself. It is about whether you will let it shape you negatively, or whether you will rise above it stronger, wiser, and more grounded in your faith. Pass the test, and you will see that what was meant to harm you actually refined you into someone even more unshakable. What many people fail to understand is that the very gossip they spread can become the platform for your elevation. Words spoken against you might be designed to break your spirit, but in the hands of God, they can actually push you into greater purpose. Sometimes the negativity directed at you serves as confirmation that you are carrying something worth noticing. If you were insignificant, no one would bother wasting their breath on you. The fact that they speak about you, even in harmful ways, is proof that there is something powerful in your life that makes them uneasy. And while they try to use their words to hold you down, God uses the same situation to lift you higher. What they meant for harm becomes a setup for your breakthrough, and what they whispered in secret is overshadowed by what God reveals in the open. Throughout history, those who faced the sharpest criticism were often the very ones chosen for greatness. The opposition became a sign that they were on the right path. The same principle applies to your life. Gossip is not evidence of failure, but often a marker that you are walking towards significance. Let people talk, because their words cannot stop what God is building. In fact, their attacks only highlight the strength of your foundation. When you stay firm and refuse to be shaken, God takes the negativity spoken against you and turns it into fuel for your progress. The louder they talk, the greater the stage God prepares to show that His hand is on you. You don't need to fight to prove yourself. Your elevation will be proof enough. Their gossip is temporary, but your rise will be undeniable. When God promotes you, even those who once gossiped will have no choice but to witness the very success they tried to prevent. One of the greatest lessons you can learn in life is that not every battle deserves your presence, and not every word spoken against you requires a response. Gossip is designed to pull you into a cycle of endless defense, but your energy is too valuable to waste on proving people wrong. Every time you stop to argue with lies, you delay your progress toward the truth of your calling. Protecting your energy means choosing wisely where you invest your thoughts, your time, and your focus. If you spend those resources trying to silence gossip, you will find yourself drained, frustrated, and distracted from what truly matters. But when you guard your heart and direct your energy toward growth, vision, and purpose, you rise above the reach of those who try to tear you down. Your energy is the fuel for your destiny, and you cannot afford to pour it into battles that lead nowhere. The words of others are not the measure of your life, your progress, your character, and your perseverance are. By refusing to engage with gossip, you keep your energy aligned with the future God has prepared for you. The truth is, people will always have something to say, but what you focus on determines the strength of your journey. Focus on negativity, and it expands in your life. Focus on purpose, and it multiplies your progress. Protecting your energy is not avoidance, it is wisdom. It is the conscious decision to rise above distractions and keep your eyes fixed on the path ahead. While others waste their breath discussing your life, you use yours to build it. And in the end, the strength of your focus will speak louder than any rumor ever could. When gossip surrounds you, it can feel like constant noise, distracting you from what really matters. But the truth is, you are not called to live at the level of the chatter. You are called to rise above it. Living above the noise means refusing to let every rumor, every criticism, and every negative opinion find a home in your mind. Greatness will always attract attention, and with attention comes criticism. If no one is talking about you, it may mean you are not moving forward. The fact that there is noise around your name is often evidence that you are advancing, that you are growing, and that you are stepping into places others cannot reach. The key is learning how to keep walking without being distracted by the sound of voices behind you. Noise cannot touch you unless you allow it into your spirit. To live above the noise is to walk with a quiet confidence, anchored in the knowledge that God's plan outweighs every human opinion. It is choosing not to fight battles with words, but to win them with consistency. It is refusing to stoop to the level of those who try to pull you down, because you know your time and energy are better spent climbing higher. While others are talking, you are building. While others are speculating, you are succeeding. This is how you prove the power of focus, by letting your life, not your arguments, be the loudest response. The noise behind you may continue, But the higher you rise, the smaller it becomes. And eventually those who once spoke against you will see that their words were powerless compared to the strength of your destiny. That is the beauty of living above the noise. It is not about silencing them, but about elevating yourself so high that their voices can no longer reach you. There is a confidence that comes when you understand the power of God's favor over your life. When He is for you, no voice raised against you can stand. People may gather together and form opinions, but their agreement cannot override God's decision. His favor is like a shield that surrounds you, protecting you from words meant to wound and from actions meant to harm. While gossip may try to close doors in your life, God's favor opens new ones that no person can touch. His blessing carries more weight than every rumor, and His hand on your life speaks louder than every false story. This is why you don't have to live in fear of what people say behind your back, because the one who goes before you has already secured victories they cannot take away. The assurance of favor gives you freedom. It allows you to walk confidently, not because you trust yourself, but because you trust the God who covers you. You don't need to chase validation from people when you are already validated by Him. You don't need to worry about being discredited when He Himself has called you worthy. And you don't need to fear rejection when His favor is what truly qualifies you. What He approves, no human disapproval can cancel. Every time someone tries to pull you down, His favor lifts you up even higher. Every time they attempt to block your path, His favor makes a way where there seemed to be no way. When you live with the assurance of favor, you stop reacting to negativity and start moving with peace, because you know you are surrounded by a covering that cannot be broken. People's words may rise for a season, but God's favor lasts a lifetime, and that is what will carry you into the future He has already prepared for you. Every attack against you, including the sting of gossip, carries within it the potential to make you stronger if you choose to see it through the right lens. Adversity is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to shape you, refine you, and prepare you for greater heights. The lies spoken about you may hurt in the moment, but over time they can become lessons that build resilience, wisdom, and character. Every rumor you overcome strengthens your ability to walk with confidence in who you are, not in who others say you are. Gossip may leave wounds, but those wounds can turn into wisdom that equips you for the next stage of your journey. You rise not in spite of what was said about you, but because of how you chose to respond to it. The stronger the attack, the greater the rise when God lifts you. Every attempt to push you down is actually building the foundation for your elevation. When you endure gossip without losing your focus, you are proving to yourself and to the world that your life is built on something far deeper than the opinions of people. You begin to see that what was meant for harm is actually a sign of growth, because growth always attracts resistance. The adversity you face is a signal that you are moving in the right direction. Rising stronger through adversity means refusing to let bitterness take root, refusing to let negativity dictate your steps, and refusing to let fear silence your progress. It means choosing faith over frustration and vision over distraction. In the end, the very voices that tried to diminish you will only highlight the strength you gain by rising above them. What once felt like an attack will later be remembered as the turning point that pushed you into becoming stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. At the end of it all, you must remember this simple but powerful truth. Let them talk, because their words cannot control your future. When God is the one guiding your steps, gossip may surround you, but it is powerless against a destiny that has been sealed by heaven. The opinions of others are fleeting, but God's promises are eternal. Every rumor will eventually fade into silence, but the purpose He placed in you will continue to grow stronger with every step you take. So do not waste your time bending under the weight of what others say. Lift your head, steady your heart, and keep walking forward with the confidence that the one who walks ahead of you has already prepared blessings that no critic can block. Your greatest victory is not in silencing your enemies, but in outlasting them. The best response to gossip is progress. The best answer to lies is success. And the best way to prove them wrong is never by words, but by the undeniable evidence of your life flourishing under God's direction. Every time you choose peace instead of anger, every time you keep moving instead of stopping to argue, you are declaring that their words cannot touch the future God is building for you. Rise above the chatter, because you are meant for more than their opinions. Keep your focus steady, because distraction is the enemy of destiny. Walk boldly, because your path has already been cleared by the one who goes before you. And when you reach the places they said you would never reach, their gossip will no longer matter, but your testimony will. So stand firm, move forward, and trust this unshakable truth. When people gossip behind your back, God is already ahead of you, leading you to a victory that no voice can take away.